Hi guys, number one Marmaduke fan here. I got a package from Antarctic Press and it happened again. I got a second copy of a comic for free. I mean, Indiegogo is basically like creators throwing free money at me at this point so I can enjoy their books. So, Wall Might First Term Part 2. Unfortunately, I guess my spoiler-free review of Part 2 is almost the same as Part 1. Like, I gave Part 1 to my roommate who didn't read comics but loved Trump, and he really got into it. I enjoyed Part 1, and I kind of agree with Zach that this is in the tradition of Mad Magazine. If you actually look at the back on this one, Tim Lin and Brett Smith, this whole cover is an homage to Mad Magazine. I'm not familiar with the source material, but that's the tone of it. You do not have to be a Donald Trump supporter to find this work funny because it's well written. Now, it helps to like Trump because then when you look back on 2016, you just laugh and you remember what a weird win that was. But basically, as long as you're like a sane Democrat and you actually kind of get that Trump has this larger than life personality, I think it's always funny to take that and then crank that up to 10. So the joke isn't, ha ha, we're good and everyone who disagrees with us, bad. The joke is, Trump is such an unusual character in our history. What if we crank that up to 11 and then we mix in some comments on craziness from comic book culture and we mix in some, My Hero Academia anime inspiration and the style, Pellegrini's style of writing for comedy, he likes to hit you with a gag and then just keep moving on with the adventure and the fights. He does not like pause and sort of point out the stupid thing he just said. He'll just sort of slap you with it almost unexpectedly, and he'll keep moving at a nice brisk pace. And what's great about this is you start getting into the adventure, you just start enjoying the fight, and you're kind of laughing the whole time. So when it hits you, then you really laugh, and then you just keep moving. Or even better, you miss it the first time because it's subtle, and you come back the second time and you spot gags you didn't see. So that's the spoiler-free review. This kind of picks up right where Part 1 left off. So little Mike Pence, he's kind of the Deku of the team with a couple twists, but he's also a Mike Pence character. He is the co-champion to Wall Might. It ended with them defeating Metal Hirari and using the power of the E Pluribus Unum to build a wall with their superpowers. Now, this picks up with the deep. It actually picks up talking about like some of the powers. Basically, Americanism is a superpower in this universe, and in addition to the E Pluribus Unum, there's the power of the Infinity States, kind of like the Infinity Stones. I thought they were going to do something about the electoral college system, and then they took it a different direction than I was expecting. So the powerful Infinity States are the 6 states that swung the election for Trump. I thought they were going to make some commentary on how we need the electoral college to protect small states from big states, but they didn't go that direction. Start red pilling these kids, you two. Calvin Coolidge. Calvin Coolidge is an underappreciated president, so I really enjoyed seeing them do a little homage to him. Now, a lot of the joy of this is they are making fun of dumb things in the comic book culture, and it's almost like it's catharsis. Like, I used to read bad comic books and feel bad that I spent $5 on it. So to see them just say, that's stupid, we're going to make fun of it, even if it's a really obvious way, it's the catharsis of that is what helps make it all seem really fun. And I'm almost like trying to guess at what their joke names are. Like, I'm guessing this is Kamala Khan or something, where it's a camel who's like Miss Marvel. I really like the gag on America Chavez, by the way. She's a real cutie. I hope you bring her back. And what was the last one? Oh, yeah. So they've got a Riri Williams Ironheart gag, who's like super black power, Black Panther, Panthery in the way she talks. So it sets up that, oh, where did the Pikachu thing come from? I don't know. Like, I know you guys like adding rabbits into everything, but is there an origin story for Bundo that I missed or something? Did I skip an entire page? I skipped an entire page. Oops, I gotta go back and read the... Wait a second. Riri Williams isn't black, she's white. Oh my gosh, I missed something important. Okay. Whoopsie. All right, so here's something where I'm gonna roast him, right? Because I'm a straight comic book reviewer. So I actually ended up liking this. So this guy Brett shows up, and I didn't get who Brett was at first. I thought it was literally the colorist Brett Smith, and they just put him in as a joke. And then later he says, "I like beer. I still like beer," and he transforms into a superhero. And then I got it. Oh, it's Brett Kavanaugh. So that actually was kind of fun because he was hiding in plain sight the whole time, even though I knew who Brett Kavanaugh was. I didn't put two and two together until the transformation sequence. So the point I was going to make with that is I wouldn't mind if I got like a little box that said, "Here's who Bundo is. Here's where he first appeared." Yeah, I still can't believe that. That took me by surprise. So, Burning Sanders, and if they ever get a cartoon made out of this, it's going to be me and Steven Crowder, I think, competing for playing the role of Burning Sanders in the cartoon adaptation. So, Burning Sanders' plan is to sneak the blue pill into everyone's entertainment in order to blue pill classic American superheroes, so that in order to defeat Wall Might. And the three who get blue pilled are three major Marvel superheroes. Iceman, who's been made like effeminate and like a pansy. I could introduce you to Bryan Singer. Carl Manvers, straight out of your Voice Axe channel. And Squirrel Girl is cast as the Malubrious Marmo, and she's just an idiot, and she's fat for no reason other than that's believed what you have to do to, I don't know, make the characters appropriate now. So a fight ensues. One of the things I like about this is they're willing to do the inappropriate gag, but they do it with enough context that you understand what they're doing. So one of the things that happens is Mike Fence zaps them in order to get the blue pill out of them, which means he turns Twinkish Iceman back into normal Iceman. So the point of this gag is a SJW could look at that and say, they're having Mike Fence use electroshock therapy on a gay guy. But that's not the point of the gag. The point of the gag is that Iceman was transformed into a gay person randomly and without it making any sense with the context of the character. We knew who the character was for 30 years. We knew that he was interested in girls. Suddenly, he's 100% homosexual. He's not even bisexual. And the scene that Brian Michael Bendis wrote is just creepy, because this psychic girl looks like she's trying to persuade him that he's gay using her psychic powers. The reason everybody headcanoned it that way is it was really, really bad writing. It's actually, ironically, in trying to be woke, Marvel made this like really deeply unsettling message about magically transforming people into the correct sexuality to get points. So when he transforms him back, Fence makes the point that wasn't the real you. They turned you into someone you weren't, but you're you again. And beautiful women. I'll save that to talk about a little bit later. So they defeat Burning Sanders. Kavanaugh has his great transformation sequence. Evil is defeated. SJWs eat their own, and a triggering ensues. So I want to talk a little bit about the concept art. This is by Matthew Weldon from Punchline. I saw this circulating around. There's a little prequel where you see how Wall Might gain the power of the E Pluribus Unum. I laughed at this page because I think it was a good setup. Like he says, I've got to find my partner. He just turns on the TV, sees him. Here's what the kid says, and says bingo. So it's timing is everything in comedy, and it's harder in comics because you're reading it, so you don't benefit from like the actor getting to pause. You have to use the panels and the dialogue really to set up everything, and I thought that was an effective example. This is a great example too, where they're carrying the sense of humor into the bios. So they'll give you like a straight bio of the character and her crazy origin story, and they'll have like some normal information: height 5'3", weight 107 pounds, powers telepathy with genus Marmota, prehensile tail, appetite impulse control. Superpowers, flight, super strength, 36, 24, 36. That's one of her superpowers. And then it's back to normal. So you could read this as just a fun, crazy anime, American politics mashup, Mad Magazine comic. But then they'll just sneak in the jabs, kind of like Mark Twain style. And then it's back to normal adventure and superhero stuff. That's so cool. Is that Weldon again? But anyway, they're doing a setup for Common America, which I think, is that a parody on Kamen Rider, but they've given their Captain Marvel parody a new costume, so she's a little bit more original, less copyright infringy. It's all parody. It's really obviously parody. One of the gags I wanted to talk about that's really important is, unfortunately, comic books are a slow medium, right? So they have a Kavanaugh joke, which is maybe from January or February. And in Twitter universe, we're used to hearing the jokes minutes after the thing occurs. So that's not a dig on the comic book. Because it's a comic book, it takes you time to draw everything and write it and get it out. And I enjoyed kind of like a trip down memory lane to the distant past of January when Kavanaugh was getting attacked, and he got to say, "I like beer. I still like beer." It holds up. It's still funny. But something that this writing team shows is, if you understand the culture, you can write comedy that will have sting later, beyond just the immediate Twitter moment. So they have this gag where their version of Carl Manvers, what's her real name? Charlotte Vanders. So Charlotte Vanders is naturally a redhead, and when she's transformed by her power, she becomes a blonde because lightning is, Oh, Wanpool, by the way, I can't wait for Wanpool to come out. I helped edit. Fun fact: I helped edit the first issue of Wanpool. I made some suggestions for like the dialogue and some of the joke delivery. So I can't wait for Wanpool. I'm back in that. But Wanpool. She points out that because she's a blonde in her superhero form, that means it's less likely for Disney to recast her as with Zendaya or Leslie Jones later. This was made before a black actress was cast as Ariel, and that became like a huge Twitter discussion. The reason they were able to do that is they saw the pattern of redheaded comic book characters getting recast as black characters, right? And so they're able to call attention to that and make fun of it, and then when it comes out, right as it comes out, boom, it hits Twitter again, because these patterns are cyclical. So if you want to write good comedy, pay attention to the culture, be willing to make fun of yourself, and say what you think. That's the theme. I will back Common America, whatever manga you guys are parodying next. 2 solid books. This is a continuation of the tradition of Mad Magazine. It helps to like Trump. You don't have to like Trump. You can disagree with Trump. You can dislike aspects of Trump's moral character, and you will still get a kick out of this fun, crazy cartoon world where everything is cranked up to 11. Is this the first appearance of Wanpool in a comic book? It might be. It might just be. All right, I'm Norman Marmaduke fan. I love you guys. Any chance you get, back the POTUS Thump Mark Pellegrini team. Love you. Catch you later.